Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube with a day 2 update from Alabama's second practice. Be sure and hit the thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. Got an update on LT Overton. Now, LT Overton seen later on at the practice period on day 1, and got an update from Kane Womack saying that he is not feeling well, but he will be back in the fold. So who knows what that means, but it's good to hear that he's going to be okay moving forward. So that's the update on the Texas A&M transfer in LT Overton. I can't wait to see what he brings to the defensive line, honestly. Okay, so this is really interesting to me, is anything revolving around the secondary. Now, right now, if Alabama had a game against Western Kentucky this coming Saturday, this is what the secondary would probably look like. And your corners are going to be Damani Jackson and Xavier Brown. Again, things are changing rapidly. Remember, Caden Proctor is working with the second team offensive line. Jalen Mbakwe is a freshman. He's working the second team. Same thing with transfer Deshaun Jones. Let me know what you think about this secondary. And of course, there's many other guys getting in rotation, but I'm curious about this group because of the fact that Alabama, the only guy that they really return within that secondary is Malachi Moore, right? So when you look to that secondary, there's a lot of guys competing. I think that's probably some of the best position battles right now taking place is within that secondary. So let me ask you right now, Damani Jackson suits up and Xavier Brown, how you feeling about that? How you feeling about that against a team like Georgia, against a team like Wisconsin early on in the season? Curious to see what Deshaun Jones brings, coming over with a lot of experience. We go back to day 2 news right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Again, I appreciate you guys being here. The second team offensive line. This is interesting, okay? So yesterday, we talked about the fact that the first team has Elijah Pritchett working at left tackle, and pretty much the first team offensive line. Tyler Booker, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, Wilcom Formby, right? So when we start to look to the second team offensive line, there's a little bit of transition within the interior play. So what I mean by that is that left tackle, you have Caden Proctor, you have Olas Alinen, right, who's in from Finland. The center position today is Gino Vandermark. Now, yesterday that was Rock Montgomery. I think those are two players that provide a lot of versatility, and I'm glad to see that Gino can play center as well. I think, considering what happened last year, you need quality centers, right? And I think that's a really big update in day 2. You got McVay working on the outside at the right tackle position. Let me know what you think about that. I think we're kind of sleeping on Rock Montgomery. Sometimes these offensive linemen, they don't get a lot of hype. It's okay, right? But Rock Montgomery, I think, is a guy who is going to be dependable for Alabama when his name is called on. Now, when we talk about Jaheim Oatis, I love this update, that he was close to being ready to practice and participate towards the end of the spring period. Now, that's coming from Coach Kalen DeBoer on day 1. Now, Coach Womack finished up on that, and he talked about Jaheim Oatis as well. He said he's very pleased with the way he's taking care of his body. He's a guy who went through a lot of transition with his body type. Remember, he came in like a 370, and it's been amazing to watch him with his body transformation. So far, I've seen him picking up things very quickly, and that's Womack talking about Oatis. Look, I love to see it. He's very talented, and I think when you look to that defensive line, he's ultra talented. I mean, and there's a lot of guys that can play. So you got vets like Jameer and Latham. You got Tim Keenan. You got, and I consider Jaheim Oatis a vet, right? Other guys, James Smith. So there's a lot of competition at that position, and I think more depth than we probably give him credit for. The last thing I wanted to hit on this midday update was that Kane Womack is bringing the fire. I know Coach Kalen DeBoer, he's not going to cuss. That's his style. We respect that. But it's good to see Coach Womack out there, with a little bit of, verbiage. Because, look, you got to get after the guys. There's always got to be someone to do it. And a couple years ago, it reminds me of Sal Sinceri, who was always getting after the guys and dropping the F-bombs. So, Kane Womack bringing the fire, wearing the sweatshirt again on day 2. Love to see it. Hey, I appreciate you guys for being here. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for Kane Womack's interview, which will be posted right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Appreciate you guys.